everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly Cash or Trash, where we look at the hot comics of this week and we make predictions sure to go wrong, and we say a lot of men, make fun of them, and do other stuff. So that is what we're doing today on a Sunday. We're hanging out. My man Unruly was in here tailgating, as was GT Key, as was Burklar. What is going on? As there's GT Key back. Geezer Skate, what is happening? Glad you could join us. Mr. Rayman, what is going on, my friend? Check me out, Ray. Meow. Cat is giving me attitude already. We're just starting. Check me out, Ray is in the house. What is going on? Yeah. That's before she went out. Not very long. She hasn't went to the door yet, but she is on the floor, like, meowing at me. Even though, like, she was just in here, like, I want attention. So I started to give her attention, and she instantly hopped down, and then she meows at me. That's what she does. So this is a show where we look at the hot comics of this week. On Saturdays, I put out my look back video where we look at the hot comics from 6 months ago, and we see how they performed in the market since, which books stayed hot, which books cooled off. Generally, if you've been following that show, you know they generally just cool off. This is the one where we talk about the books that are hot this week, and we make predictions, see how they're going. We throw them into categories. Go, what is going on? Welcome. I'm glad you finally catching it live. I'm happy to have you here. So, what Miss Cat say? I want attention, but I don't really want attention. I want it on my terms, which is what I want. Of course it did not. Unless I missed it. They dropped, the one he dropped this morning was the back issue one, the top 10 back issue one, which is like used to come out like on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and now it's dropping on Sundays. So who knows when it's going to drop. So what we did, for those that aren't paying attention, we usually look at, for the look back, we've always looked at the CBSI Hot Top 10 and the Comic Tom Key Collector Hottest Trending Comics of the Week. Those are the two lists we use for this. Lately, Tom's video, where he picks 10 books from the Key Collector Trending 20, which is what he pulls from, has been super late. It's been coming out late on Sundays or on Mondays, or 1 week came out on Tuesday. So super late. So what I've been doing the last few weeks is just pulling a few books from the Trending 20. Hey, look, the cat's at the door. So if you had 3 minutes in, Mr. Rayman, you were the winner. 3 whole minutes she lasted. And what a good Sam I am. And I'll let you out in a second. And I totally lost my train of thought. So I've just been pulling some books I think are likely to be talked about, and we're just talking about a few of them. Taylor saying it's all trash. Truck one is the only way. Is the only key. Well, only key. Maybe not only key, but clearly the best key. So hang on, let me let this cat have your freedom, and we'll see if we make it like 10 minutes before she's back at the door asking to be let back in. Oh, all right. So how do I make these predictions? Well, we do it. We throw them into categories of what I think is generally going to happen. I don't try to make exact financial predictions on what's going to go with the cost here. Throw them into categories, including straight cash, homie. These are pretty rare. We get fewer of these than we get dumpster fires in general. Now, I will say that when we do the 6 month, in terms of the 6 months when we're going to look back at them, there are books that are on this list that are straight cash longer term, but that for the 6 months, because of whatever's happening, probably aren't, just because of the nature of the market. We get our worth it books that are probably priced about right, that if you buy them right now, you're going to do okay. You might not make a lot in 6 months, but you're going to be fine. We got our I'll Be Back, kind of the flip side of that coin, books that are not way overpriced right now, but if you're patient, you can probably find a deal if you come back. Save you a little bit. We got our traps. These are books that are probably going to drop 30, 40, 50%. We get a bunch of these every week. Just the way it is. And finally, we got our dumpster fires. These are books that are going to drop 60, 70, 80%. And yeah, we get 1 to 2 of these every week as well. Occasionally, we'll throw in this book's not even really hot. I don't know why we're talking about it. Or come on, we all know this is not a book that we should be chasing. Or a character that we know is not important. Why are we chasing it? Just because they think they might show up in the background of a movie or something. So those are the categories that we throw our books into. Blue Collar Dan is in the house. What is going on? Scent Trails. What is happening? Are we putting wagers on that? Uh, you know, I don't, but I think anybody that's buying these books when they're hot is putting a wager on it for sure. So, Beckerman, what is happening? What is going on? Go Dumpster Fires, yes. Well, you know, I don't know really how else to do it. I'm not going to talk about all of them. So this week there was only so CBSI put out their list of 10. The trending 20, there was only 2 books that overlapped, which meant there were 18 different books. I ain't talking about all 18. And I'm not going to wait for Tom. I know Unruly had talked about me maybe doing the replacing Tom's list with the cover price. Been doing the Tom list for so long. We'll see. I may eventually go to that step. For now, I'm going to stick with this and we'll just see how things shake out. But if this continues, I may have to go to like the cover price thing. But for now, what I did was 18 books that are possible for Tom's list that would be different. I picked 9 of them. I may be wrong. If I start being wrong a lot, then so far I've done pretty well in guessing which 9 he's going to talk about. If I start being really wrong a lot, then it's not gaining me anything. Then it's probably, and if this is going to continue for the next couple months, then I will probably like make a switch to like cover price is hot top 10 or whatever. So we'll just have to see where it goes. What's going on, Steven? What is happening? Truck to the moon. The dumpster is undefeated. People get busy. His schedules change, whatever. It's not, he's not responsible for helping me make content. So, but I will ultimately have to make a decision if this is where things are going to go. So for now, I'm just kind of, yeah. I wish I had the time. I really wish I had the time, but I don't. And yeah, so I'm just not. We're doing it this way. We'll see what happens. The greatest dynasty ever. Yes, those are fine. Good option. All right, so let's get into this week's book because with that, I'm talking about 19 books, which is a lot. We're 8 minutes in. First up, Last of Us back on the list, on the CBSI list again. When we talked about it when the show first started, 9.8s were hitting about 1,200. Now 9.8s are doing 14 to 1,700. 9.6s are hitting 6 to 700. Part of this reason it's back on the list is we did get an announcement this week that season 2 was official, that there would be a season 2. I stand by my original position on this. This book will never be hotter than it is during season 1. During the release of season 1, I think we got 2 episodes left. There's no reason to buy this book right now. If you love The Last of Us, that's great. The series, it sounds like it's really good. I have not watched it. I'll be honest, I'm just kind of burnt on post-apocalypse stuff, and it just doesn't really interest me. It's not that the show can't be wonderful. It's just not something I feel like watching at the moment. I may eventually circle back to it. That has nothing to do with my judgment here. My judgment is the show is hot. It's popular. It's never going to be talked about more than it is right now. It's never going to be more in demand than it is right now. Why on earth would you buy it at that moment? If you love the show, if you love the game, those are great things. Come back later. It's just that simple. Things do not hold. Look at every Marvel movie. Look at all of those books. They've all come back after you got away from them. Let's see. Go Dumpster Fire. He's saying get rid of the CBSI and do the cover price. Well, I've been doing these for so long that I hate to completely switch, but we'll have to see. We may have to like have some discussions and think about that. And by discussions, I'm talking about with me. So I don't know who I'm having discussions with, but there you go. We need to rename ages from 92,000 dumpster age. Everything's water. Oh, geez. Well, that's it. Could be. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it just, yeah, I don't know if this actually is a straight adaptation of the game or what this actually is. I'll be honest. Oh, it's a prequel. There you go. It's the prequel. There you go. Thank you, Remains. I appreciate that. What are we going up? Well, the show's still coming out. Do we think it levels off eventually? It might have some Walking Dead legs. I have a hard time. Think about how long the Walking Dead went. How long it lasted. Will it have those kind of legs? I kind of doubt it. I really do. I could be wrong, but I still think during season 1 it's the hottest time and worst time to buy it. For sure. Next, we got more news. Post-apocalyptic will be until the actual apocalypse. Yeah. Get the game, avoid the book. There you go. Dude, there's plenty of people buying. So they don't listen to me. The small little, 34 people in here. Those are who listen. Either way. Same thing for Last of Us Funko Pops right now. Yeah. Let's see. Whoa. Okay. Bunch of people popping in. Trash, all books are trash. That's no mandate marriage. What's going on? So we got news once again that Netflix is working on this. Now, this is a perfect example of option news and everything else. This series started in 2019. In 2020, when this thing was optioned originally, this book was through the roof. It was crazy. There was nothing hotter than Something is Killing the Children. It was the top of the market. Everybody loved this book even before it got optioned. It was huge. It got optioned in 2020. The book went through the roof. This was a $1,200 book. Now we got news this week that they're working on it. That they're working on the series. It's still coming. 2 years later, it's back up to a $750 to $800 book. Think about that. We're still not back to the original peak. This is why I always say, I don't care how big the project is. I don't care how long it is. Option news is come back later. Make a note. Like, you could have got this book for half what it was going for when it first went crazy. And my guess is it'll probably be back down in that $500-$600 range again before we actually see a series. So yeah, that's just, to me, this is a best case in terms of like how well a book performs from being optioned, because the series is very popular, and we made it almost exactly 10 minutes before the cat's back at the door. But yeah, wasted so much time watching 1899. Yeah, Netflix has been steadily declining. Netflix working new kids to death. Well, that's true. What's going on, Frankie? No knows what is happening. It was combo hot book. Pandemic option, it went crazy. Come on. You suck. That time she didn't even come in. I opened the door, she looks at me, turns, and walks away. Freaking cat. Oh my gosh. She was like, no. I don't want to come in there. Something is straying with it. Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right. The cat always wins. The cat always wins. Next, Essentia, number 13. So this is basically why this book. This is a Frank Cho cover. Obviously, it's a nudie cover, but it contains the first of 5 coupons that you had to redeem to get a variant either from J. Scott Campbell or Frank Miller. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I guess, for the books that had coupons. We're back to the days of collecting coupons. So this book was going for $25, $30. There's no way I would pay $25, $30. To me, like, long term, once people see what that cover is and everything else, and those are out there and you can get them without having to get the coupons, this is a trap. There's no way I'd be stunned if this maintains a $25, $30. Once the cover is out there, unless the two main covers are just absolutely amazing that you can get from turning in these coupons, this is a trap. There's no reason that people are going to keep chasing this book. Once this whole process is over, 6 months from now, I would be stunned. Yeah. I do too. I like the series. I hope they do something good with it. He's saying dumpster fire. Yeah. Trash fire, garbage fire, whatever you would say. The cat just won is what she did. This is one book I want because it's your art. I'd be patient on it. I would be patient on it for sure. I would not pay current prices while people are chasing the coupon and would wait. The worst thing is then getting one that still has the coupon. I don't know how they did the coupon in this so that it's not messing with the condition of the book in terms of a collectible. So there is that question. Finding one that has the coupon might be tough. That value might go up, but just getting the book, maybe not. Still available at Torpedo, so there you go. It looks like Aliens and Deja Thoris almost is what it sort of looks like. I don't know. Next. Oh boy, we got a political one this week. Yay. I love political ones. No, I don't. I don't care. I don't care which side of the politics you're on. I don't care. We got Cerberus in Hell, Cancel America, political covers. Yay. $40 raw, $60 signed. Political covers are almost, without exception, traps. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. I don't care anything. The only one that's really held up is that ASM Obama one that still does really well. Most of the rest of them don't amount to anything. People just move on from them. Oh, yay, it's a homage to Captain America 1. Generally, these don't matter, like long term. There's a few people, but yeah. So we're going to move on. Let's talk politics, kiss of death. Yeah. Total waste. Yeah. Hey, Big O, what is happening? Is it actually? Whoa, that was an act. No, it was not. All right, this is on the list last week. This is the second print, Bob Layton, 125 wraparound Invincible Iron Man. People say that in person this is really cool looking with all the different Iron Man suits, even though it's black and white. That it's really cool cover. That the art is really good. It looks very busy on here. The images I found, it's hard to get a good image. Last week we were talking this 125. We were talking 45, 60. Week 2, we're up to 70. What have you guys seen on incentive covers that make the list or going for decent value in week 1 and then peak even higher in week 2? Yeah, they don't hold that. Week 2 for sure they don't hold, and usually they end up at or below week 1. This is a trap. And even with that, it's still not quite the triple ratio. So, which is what it usually has to make to hold on. And with how bad the market's been, you almost even have to be beyond triple ratio anymore. The old rules were triple ratio. It's still not even triple ratio. This is going to be 30-40 at the most. Yeah. Andy, my friend, what is happening? Jeezy Creasy, what is going on? Yeah, absolutely. And plus it's the add a zero. Add a zero. It's probably not yet, but it seems that way for sure. Next, we got one of the books that could be on both lists this week. We got Lazarus Planet Omega #1. The Helen Lenoble. Never heard of this artist. 1 in 50 Power Girl cover. 1 in 50 going for 70 plus. It's not even double. I do really like this cover. I really like the style on this. It's kind of a sexy, but not over the top Power Girl cover. I don't know. I really do like this one, but it's a 1 in 50 that's not even doing double. So despite the fact that I like this one, it's not even doing double. That tells me it's probably going to end up ratio or below, which based on the rules, it's probably still a trap. And this is one, I like the Iron Man. I really like this one, but I think it probably still ends up being a trap just because what it's going for. We'll see what kind of peak we get on week 2. This is another one I could see being on the list 2 weeks in a row. But yeah, to me, there's always going to be back. This is probably definitely going to be a trap. What the pirate's favorite letter in the alphabet is. But it's C. Yes, it's the C. It'd really be the C. Yes. So no more Alex listens. There was one on the Tom list, and I didn't actually include it. I thought about it, but I did not. Yeah, there's a lot of really solid covers lately for Power Girl. Because they've kind of been bringing her back because she kind of vanished for a while. So they've been bringing her back in this new Action Comics kind of relaunch and all this stuff that they're doing with Superman and stuff. So plateaus are nice for a flatter. There you go. I think this is a good one. I really actually do like this one, but based on the values, I'm gonna say probably not. Hey, Big Polish guy, what's going on? Poop windows always so. This is, always to a point. D&D double D cover on this list. There you go. Next, another Superman cover. This is Superman #1. Speaking of 1000th relaunch, Jamal Campbell, one per store, black and white foil. One per stores, generally you treat them about like a 1 in 25. That's about where they fall in terms of numbers. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. They generally behave very similar to a 1 in 25. This one's only doing 30 to 40 on a one per store, which means it's probably going to end up below 25. It's probably going to be, it's probably going to be below that 1 in 25 kind of ratio value. So it's probably a $15, $20 book in 6 months, if that. So yeah, it's another. I put this one as an I'll be back just based on where I think it'll fall, the amount of decrease it's going to be. But if you wanted to say trap, if you wanted to lean toward trap, you're probably leaning on the safe side. Glad she's back, but the writing is weak. I haven't read any of this new Superman stuff, so I will trust Jag on that. But yeah, it's better than Alex Ross female covers that come out in the last few weeks. There you go. Probably on this one, I would say yeah. I think I agree. This is the foil. It's a foil cover, but yeah, it's kind of. I would hope so. We already talked about Something is Killing the Children, Frankie, and basically my thoughts on that was we're still not back to the pandemic peak when it first hit the list. My guess is it may go a little higher right now than it currently is, but we're still a long ways from a series happening that it comes right back down to where it's been in the meantime, because that's what it did. It's made of FOMO foil. There you go. All right, next. Vault of Spiders, #1. This is the Marcos Martin variant. This is the one we're talking about. First appearance of Spider-Bite, who supposedly has a toy or a pop or something for the new Across the Spiderverse movies that are coming. And yeah, $20 to $30, 9.8, 150. My only question is here for this one is how much is the Penny Parker books worth from the first Spider-Verse movie? Do you think this character will play a bigger role than Penny Parker did in the first one? Yeah. Come back later. Seriously. It's very straightforward. Yes, the Miles book went crazy. The Gwen book went crazy after that movie. And the Gwen book was already kind of going crazy even before that movie, but really after the movie. Noir held pretty well. Penny and Spider-Ham, they backed up quite a bit. Yeah. So I already talked about The Last of Us, Andy. You won't like what I said. That was the very first book. So yeah, Last of Us, I stand by. That book will never be hotter than it is right now because you're in the middle of the series. I know we're going to get season 2. Season 2 peaks are usually not as good as season 1 peaks. The game person has already talked about that there's probably not going to be another game. They may go longer with the show beyond the game storyline, but that book's probably never going to be hotter than it is right now. I would come back for that one. So yeah. The tie boats, that is a hideous cover. There you go. Yeah. So it's not a shot at the character. I don't know much about this character. I'm just saying that it's the odds of her being super important with all the other stuff we've seen is pretty slim. Well, the article I read like a week ago saying that the original writer was like, no, like there is no part 3. So maybe Naughty Dog's doing it without the original person. Because I swore I saw that somewhere. So that he's like, there is no part 3. And then, so maybe Naughty Dog's doing it on their own. But yeah. Interesting. I still don't think that book will ever be hotter than it is right now. And the success of season 1, it'll never be talked about or as hot as it is right now. But anyway, we're talking about this book. This is an I'll be back. Next. Marvel Boy, number 1. The first appearance of Novar. NOH-VAR, which some people seem to think we got news that Stephen Yeun had been cast. I don't know how you pronounce that guy's last name. Had been cast in Thunderbolts. Some people are speculating this is the character. It seems pretty unlikely that you're going to cast that actor for this character. That I'll be honest, I had heard of, but I had forgotten existed. So that's the way I'm going to describe this character. I'd heard of him, but I'd forgotten that he existed before this came up. Right now, raw copies are going for 25 plus. This, to me, is a big giant. Yeah. This is the trip. PS5 needs more games. Yeah. I will always buy Spider-Man. There you go. There you go. So you heard he was playing Joe, which he's a little old to play Joe, but guess what the next book on the list is? The other one. I think this is more likely that he's playing Joe, for sure. 9.8 on this is currently going for 700. 9.6, 3 to 350-ish kind of range on there. I typed that wrong, but I'm going to fix that. But this is an Omniac. This is still not at the peak of this when people first started specking on him. This book went higher than it is currently. Here's the thing. Go look at what Riri books are going for right now. Go look to see what Kate Bishop books are going for right now. Go look and see what She-Hulk and Monica Rambeau books are going for right now compared to before the characters appeared. Even if this is who he's cast at, I would come back later. And I realize maybe it's a long later because we're talking 6 months. 6 months, it might still be, we might get confirmation. The book might be higher. But this is a book, like once people are spec'd on this thing, until the character comes, you're actually better off waiting till after the character has appeared at this point to buy the book based on the current Marvel patterns than you are buying it between the time people first spec on it and when they appear. You're better to wait till they're in the MCU. People care less once they've been appearing multiple times than they do before they appear. And that is just that. Yeah, these have gone down from where they were the initial spec. For sure. No VAR, no way. Yeah. I have a hard time believing this character will perform any differently than any of those others. It's just the way things have worked. So before the show comes out. Yeah. At this point, you really need to, like, the highest peaks are the first rumors or the first confirmation. Lately, the last couple of years, even trailers and the movie haven't done as well, unless it was a character we weren't expecting, haven't done as well as the initial news that they were going to. The books have not maintained the value compared to the initial news when we found out about it. Jane Foster Thor. There's Gore. Oh my gosh, go look at Gore. Yeah. It is sort of really high compared to some of the others. There you go. No. So, all right, next. So that's it. That's the CBSI list. So those are the 10 CBSI books. The rest of this is pure JP guessing from the key collector list, things that might make the list. Someone mentioned that there were no Alex Ross books. The key collector trending 20 did have a single Alex Ross book on there. It's probably one I will miss. I did not include it when I was going through. But yeah, because there is an Alex Ross signing. It was Marvel's #1. I didn't include it. Any of those, though, are going to go back. I didn't include it because that's just a simple prediction. If the people are buying a book because of the Alex Ross signing, guess what? Once the signing passes, they're going to slow down because that was the only reason they were buying. So those are always I'll be backs or traps. That's 100%. There's no reason to really talk about them. Next, we're going to these are my guesses. One of the books on their list, Hell to Pay, #1 from 2022. Rumors this week that Seth MacFarlane was adapting what this is a part of for TV. This book is only doing 5 to 15, so you could argue this is whatever. It's 5 to 15 on an option project. Yeah, who cares? I just have the feeling that this is the kind of book that Tom usually puts on his list, so I'm talking about it. If it was more than 5 to 15, I would say it's a trap. As 5 to 15, it's an I'll be back. And yeah, we can keep moving. So, yes, we're speculating on speculating. Yeah, no Hypno Hustler. 99% villain. Yeah. Hey, Planet Arizona, what is going on? So, spec multiplier. There you go. Next. Tom's a huge Hellboy fan. There was a Hellboy book on the list. It's probably going to be on here. This is Hellboy, the Crooked Man, #1 from 2008. Rumors of a Hellboy reboot, that they're going to try to reboot Hellboy again, and that this is a story arc that they were going to use. I'll believe that when I see it, but this book is up to $20 to $35 compared to what it was, which was like 10 to 15. This is probably going to be back where it was at. Also, in the borderline trap, I'll be back range. I put it as an I'll be back. But yeah. Tom's not going to miss an opportunity to talk about Hellboy. I'd be stunned. But we'll see if this happens. I know I never did watch that movie with the newest movie. I enjoyed the original stuff. I would love to see a really cool Hellboy project, but I don't know that we'll get it. We're spraying on the bag of that. It's out there. You can find it. It's not on the list this week. Speaking of Spider-Man, there we go. I put this on just because I find this completely ridiculous. Amazing Spider-Man #7, the first appearance of Spider-Man UK, Billy Braddock. So, rumors that Sony is going to make a Spider movie with Billy Braddock, and they're going to get Henry Cavill to play the role. What a waste of Henry Cavill. If you're going to have him play a Braddock, I think you just do Captain Britain for MCU and not for a Sony Spider spinoff. What? $8 to $20 on this thing, which is just, again, only because the bottom end is 8 do I say I'll be back. But come on. Henry Cavill is going to play Billy Braddock in a Sony Spider movie and not hold out for an actual MCU part? Seriously? Do anybody believe that? I don't believe that. It's not a Sony spec. Oh my God. I mean, Sony sucks. Yeah. Worst rumor ever. This is ridiculous. I don't wonder the sorry. I love that one. That's a good one. Cough Morbius. Yeah. I wish they would. So then, because if they stop for long enough, then all the Spider rights revert back to Marvel, which will probably never happen. That's why they keep making that crap, because they have to keep the rights. Next, we got Ultimate Fantastic Four #1. This hit the list. It's only 5 to 15. It's the only real comic buzz book on either list this week. It's why I included it. And this is just because Hickman is going back to the Ultimate Verse. He's starting a series, returning to the Ultimate Universe that we got. So Jonathan Hickman's going to be writing a new series, caused this book to hit the list. This is still like, if you're buying this because there's going to be a new series, again, only because of the values are so low, do I put this in I'll be back. But yeah, no, there's nothing that's going to hold up there. You can only be a bad guy in the other. Well, there you go. Hey, J Hood, what is going on? This has existed for years. People are I thought Fox made Wolverine Origins. They had to make, yeah. This is correct. No. Even Reed Richards is the best Reed Richards. Reed is, yeah, not a character that one of my favorites for sure. Next. So this is where I'm probably off the rails in terms of my picks from Tom's list. But there was like, how many was it? There was like 6. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books related to Kang, different versions of Kang on the Key Collector Trending 20. I only picked 2. I could be wrong on the 2 I picked very easily. I picked 2 that really hadn't talked about much, or were directly related to the movie. If you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, just know lots of versions of Kang show up. This one is Avengers Daniel #21, the first appearance of Victor Timely. Appears it's going to be a version of Kang we're going to get more of. $20 to $30 this week. 9.8, 200 to 230. This is really about where it was at last week when we talked about it. It's just would be on the opposite list. I put it on here again. This is an I'll be back. I can see them talking about it. Definitely for the longest time, it's been a 50-cent, dollar bin book. I would definitely come back on this one for sure. We'll see. I really think ultimately, when you get beyond the Conqueror, Ramatut, Immortus, I think most of the rest of the versions of Kang that we're going to see aren't going to amount to much. I really just would be very surprised. But I got another version of Kang here. All new, all different. I guess I included 3 of the 8 Kang related books. Sorry, not 2, but all new, all different. Avengers, first appearance of Mr. Griffin, another Kang variant. And this is just a different Kang variant. That's rumors that this version is going to be in the Loki show is what's going on here. 5 to 20, 9.8, 100 to 140. And again, come back later. For sure. What do we got going on in the chat? The original Kings of Comedy. This is kind of where I'm at for 6 books 2 years ago myself. There you go. Too many Kangs. You saw the end of the movie. Yes, there's a few. I think I have thoughts about how they used him, and I enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I have thoughts about how they used him there. I think making him the Conqueror version was a mistake. That's just me. But all different Kang. There's always an all new, all different Kang. All right, and last of our 3 Kang books that I picked out, really just again because it's one I hadn't talked about in this case. Avengers 268. So this story is actually titled Kang Dynasty. This is the first time they used that name, which is obviously the movie. There was later a longer story arc that was called Kang Dynasty. That is not this. So, yeah, but they used the title here for the first time, story title here for the first time. 10 to 20, 9.8, 125 to 150. If it was more than 10 to 20, again, it would be a trap. It's an I'll be back. I'm not very high on any of these books. I don't have a single worth it or, I can tell you right now, not a single worth it or thing. I didn't have a dumpster fire in here because I felt like most of like the Tom books were so low value to begin with that it really just didn't warrant a dumpster fire, even though maybe they are. Probably we're going to get a version. He's just going to be in all the movies. Next, some MCU stuff not related to Ant-Man and the Wasp. We got Avengers number 52, first appearance of the Grim Reaper. We got casting for the Wonder Man show that everybody is speculating is going to be the Grim Reaper based on the actor that has been cast for Wonder Man. Seems like a very obvious choice for this guy to be the guy they cast to be his brother. I didn't write down the actor's name. 30 to 60 for raw copies, and 8.5 went for 350. This one I almost went worth it just based on the timing, but I think Wonder Man has been kind of put with everything being pushed back. I don't think it's coming till next year. So because of that, I think it's probably still it's an I'll be back, because I think there'll be a lull between now and then because people aren't going to really be thinking about it. We're a year at least out from Wonder Man, unless they've changed the schedule at this point. And I think if they've changed it, it's made it further out, not closer. It is at least it's Silver Age, but it's still not. These values still aren't even approaching like WandaVision levels when people were first specking on Grim Reaper, because there was a little Easter egg to him in the opening of a couple of the episodes. So this is not even reaching those levels, just for the record. So, but it is, it's a good book. It's a solid book, but it's one I would come back for. Not a big fan of that actor. I don't know. I didn't recognize the name, but maybe I'm not. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have confirmation for sure. So maybe he's playing Mephisto. Maybe that's what it is. Go get your Mephistos now. You heard it here first. He's actually playing Mephisto and not Grim Reaper. And last book I picked off their list. We'll see how poorly I did this week. I'm clicking on all the wrong things. Is World of Realms, New Agents of Atlas. This is the third print. Multiple first appearances. Rumors that we got confirmation that we are getting a Shang-Chi number 2. This is going to happen. And we got rumors this week that the Agents of Atlas will show up in that movie. So that's what caused this book to spike. This third print's going for $80 to $100, 9.8, 250 to 300. I think I'd rather have the first print. That's just me. But I also put this as an I'll be back because we are a long way from that movie. And yeah, I would definitely put that as an I'll be back. That movie is way out at this point, and I would be patient and pick your spots here. Even if this is really going to happen, I would be patient. I would say the answer is yes, without giving you any other information than that. There you go. I wouldn't bet on any of those political books having legs. Maybe it does. I wouldn't bet on a book that's, because I don't think it even has anything to like. I would never bet on a book like that. That doesn't mean I'm right, but I would never bet on a book like that. The history says generally those are not good bets. That's just me. All right, those are the 19 books that I decided, the 10 books out the CBSI list, plus 9 more that I decided to talk about. A whole bunch of traps, and I'll be back. And nothing other than that, really. I don't even want to click on that comment, but it's true. Yeah. The only people losing are us. Like, normal people in the middle are the only people losing right now. And it's from both sides. So with that, It'll be a trap. Yes, it's always a trap. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. So with that, we're gonna get out of here. I'll be back for D&D tonight, and then we'll talk some Sandman this week, and then next weekend should be on schedule. Hope. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will talk to you later. Bye.